All right, hey there CEOs and business leaders. My name is Eric Presnell, and today we are diving into 5 video marketing hacks that are completely transforming how successful companies connect with their audience. It's through video content. And after working with over 200 global brands and seeing the behind the scenes of what actually works through these marketing teams, through these CMOs, these CEOs, I can tell you that video marketing isn't just about fancy equipment or perfect lighting. It's about understanding these key hacks that most people miss. But before we dive in, there's something wild that you need to know. 87% of consumers say that video quality impacts their trust in a brand. Yet, here's what's fascinating. Quality might not mean what you think it does. So let me explain. And just this last month, I was talking to one of my clients, a CEO who had invested $50,000. I'm not kidding, $50,000 into top of the line video equipment. It was a full studio setup. They had professional cameras and expensive lighting and the entire works, audio and really unique little corner bookshelf with all this unique setups. And it looked great. It was really incredible. But the issue was that their videos weren't getting any traction. And so there was a little bit of confusion as to like, well, my video's set up and the quality's there. What's happening? Well, meanwhile, at the same time, there was another company that was having to, rather they were crushing it, if I can be blunt. They just had a smartphone and they used these 5 hacks that I'm about to share. And the difference is that they understood what actually moves the needle. So today, let's dive into the hacks that are actually gonna make the most difference in terms of your video content marketing. And again, it's not about the studio, it's about how you deliver and connect with your audience. So let's dive into hack number 1. This is understanding the psychology of video trust. Now, think about this is gonna be a nice conversation, so that's what it's all about. Think about the last time that you bought something significant online. Something really significant that really meant a lot to you. Did you feel more comfortable buying from a brand where you could see and hear real people? And most often, it's true. Like we do buy from Amazon or we do buy from online digital places, but usually when there's a brand, it's usually linked to the fact that you understand that there's a real person behind your purchase. And there's a reason for that. Studies show that 82% of consumers feel more confident about making a purchase after watching a video with a human presenter. So let me give you just a real example of that. I recently worked with a SaaS company that was struggling to convert their enterprise leads, right? And they actually had beautiful animated explainer videos, which most SaaS companies do nowadays. And to be honest, the quality was really great. Excellent motion graphics, and it was top-notch stuff. But their conversion rates were stuck at 2%. And when we switched to incorporating real team members in their videos, actually real coworkers who shared this experience, who took the same content, but put in a real presenter from the actual team, showing the actual people behind the product, their conversion rate jumped to 11%. Now, why is that? The reason is because enterprise buyers aren't just buying your product, they're buying into your team. They're buying into your brand and how it makes them feel, all right? It's very important when you see that distinction when it comes to those conversion rates. Hack number 2 is all about the content to context ratio. And here's where most CEOs go wrong. So they focus 90% of their effort on what they're saying and only 10% of where and how they are saying it. But here's the thing, content without context is just noise. So let me break this down to make it super specific. When we worked with this major tech company, they were pumping out video content like crazy. They had blog video summaries, product updates, company news, you name it. They were doing tons and tons of video content, but their engagement with it was terrible. And we wondered why that was. And it was because once we did the research, they weren't considering the viewing context. They were using the same video format for LinkedIn that they were using for their website and YouTube. It's a completely different social structure and a completely different audience. So what we did was we implemented a simple context matrix, all right? It was short, punchy videos for social media. Think of your shorts, 30 to 60 seconds, more detailed kind of educational material, right? Then we implemented explainers for the website, some how it works, product overviews, and really kind of a general explainer on their actual website. This is usually between about 1 to 2 minutes, sometimes 3 minutes depending on the brand itself, but more on timing of videos in a later video. I get that question a lot, but usually about 1 to 2 videos for the explainers. And we also then implemented in-depth thought leadership for YouTube. And that was your standard 7 to 10 or 10 to 15 minutes, right? Their engagement rates over time, it takes a long time, especially with the organic content, their engagement rates tripled across all the platforms because now the content actually matched the context. The shorts were necessary for the social media. The explainers really hit it in once they got to the page, right? It was more that brand awareness for the shorts. Then you got more of a further down the funnel, more consideration phase. And then even the YouTube was your organic content feeding in, answering those specific questions of your audience. It was very important to kind of link those all together and make sure that you actually have your content to context ratio intact, all right? Hope that makes sense. The third hack is what I call pattern interruption. Sure you've heard of it before, but it's pretty standard here. Now there's a stark reality. The average attention span online is now just 8.25 seconds. Now that is shorter than a goldfish. But here's the hack, right? You actually don't need to capture attention for long periods. So when we talk about attention and ad content and short videos, you really need to engage them within 3 seconds as the standard. However, the attention spans of about 8.25 seconds apply to us as a society, generally speaking, generally statistically, on how much we have to entice them to keep it going. That you need to recapture it immediately, right? Repeatedly, in fact. A good example of this is just think about your favorite YouTube creators, right? When you do a deep dive, you can notice how they change camera every few seconds, all right? And that is to keep everything novel and really unique. Some of the more educated material, like this one, this is a prime example. I'll probably change the camera every 10, 15 seconds. It's organic. I'm not really trying to induce any dopamine things in here because it's more of an educative stance. However, think of your Mr. Beast or really any YouTube channel that they are doing really high quality dopamine induced where it brings a new thing on. And a lot of these faceless YouTube channels are getting big as well because it's more documentary style. Documentary? I don't know what that was. Documentary style, where you're just trying to really entice the audience and tell a beautiful story, right? So when you change every 3 to 4 seconds usually, then they're trying to induce that dopamine. So how they switch between talking headshots and B-roll, that is the pattern interruption right in action. And in business videos, you can do this using quick transitions between concepts. You can use it with visual aids that appear at key moments. So if I put my slides on right now, cool, we're listing these out, and I'm gonna do strategic use of mic or sound effects, good. Changing between different types of content, right? So it's the talking head or B-roll. So those pattern interrupts going from me to the slide, to me, to the slide, it keeps things going when it comes to that more entertainment content versus the education. And mostly in business, it's mostly about educating, all right? And I implemented this with an e-commerce CEO who was seeing massive drop-offs in the product videos, but by adding pattern interrupts every 15 to 20 seconds, we increased the average watch time from 30 seconds to over 2 minutes. Now that is a 300% improvement, all right? It's very important to know when it comes to getting into the pattern interruption, all right? All right, hack number 4. I'm gonna focus on the ecosystem approach. So here's what most companies get wrong. They tend to treat each video as a standalone piece of content, but the most successful companies are creating video ecosystems where each piece of content connects and reinforces to others, all right? Now, a good example of this is, imagine you're walking into IKEA. Love IKEA, awesome place, love those meatballs. They're actually delicious. I don't know if you've been to Sweden, but love it there. So, sorry, I got stuck on meatballs. So imagine you're walking into IKEA and you don't just see a random collection of furniture, you see complete room setups, right? Usually they're upstairs first. And that helps you envision how everything works together. In the same way, your video strategy should work very similarly. So let me paint a picture. A potential customer watches your thought leadership video on YouTube. All right, and at the end, it directs them to a more detailed explainer video on your website. So the CTA is like, hey, check out our website. We've got a better video that shows about X, Y, and Z. Now that video includes timestamps to specific product demos. So those demos link to customer testimonial videos. All right, so it's each one is passing through, it's all connecting. And when we implemented this approach with one of our tech companies, their website dwell time increased by 82%. You might be asking, why is that? And it's because viewers always had a clear next step, a reason to keep engaging with their content, and it really worked. And finally, hack number 5, what we are calling the authenticity amplifier. Now, I know authenticity, it just might sound like a buzzword, but hear me out. All right, companies using authentic video marketing grow their revenue 49% faster than those who don't. And that has come from a lot of statistical data that we've incorporated. The trick is understanding what authentic really means in video marketing. And it's not about being perfect, it's about being real. And if you stumble over a word, leave it in. Leave it in, it's totally fine. If something funny happens during filming, you know, like on one of them, I had a massive motorcycle in the last video just tore through the street. I kept it in. And these imperfections actually build trust because they show that you are human and nobody's perfect. So when you're delivering a video presentation, they don't expect you to be perfect as well. Now, here is a perfect example. So one CEO that I was working with was terrified of being on camera, as 70% of them do. And she thought that she needed to be professional all the time. She thought that she always needed to have the right blazer on and to make sure that her lighting was on point. And we convinced her to just be herself. And it takes a little bit of a warm up to being comfortable on camera, but it was complete with her slightly quirky sense of humor. She was very funny, and occasional tangents. She would go off on the thing, and the result is that her customer testimonial submission rate increased by 200%. And that's because customers felt like they were dealing with a real person and not a corporate robot. And so it just goes to show you that if you implement some of your own natural ability, you know, you don't have to be 100% professional all the time when you're delivering content. People would love to know that you are a human. This doesn't work for everybody, but I guarantee for the ones that it does work for, you will see some incredible results. Now, I do know what you're thinking. All of this sounds great, but how do you actually implement these hacks into your business? And that's exactly why I am here to help. I have set aside some time to chat with CEOs and business leaders who want to transform their video marketing strategy. So absolutely no pressure, but if you are ready to take your video marketing to the next level, then click the link in the description below to book a call with me directly. I've left my Calendly link in there. So it's a direct link that you guys can hit me up on. And what we can do on the call is we'll analyze your current video strategy and create a custom roadmap using these hacks in a way that makes sense for your business specifically. And again, hey, if you found this video helpful and these hacks, please make sure to hit the like button and subscribe. I'm gonna ask you to do that again for a second time. Please hit the like button and subscribe. Yep, you're moving for it? No, just kidding. I would really appreciate it because once you do that, the YouTube algorithm sets it up so that I will have to provide more insider tips on video marketing that actually drive results, and it gets us in front of other CEOs that also have the same pain points that you might be experiencing as well. So yeah, please do that. I would love it. And if you are okay to drop a comment below, leave your thoughts, letting me know which hack resonated most with you. If you have any questions about future content that you would like to know about. All right. So thanks very much for watching. Thanks for checking it out all the way to the end here, and I will see you in the next video.